Hello. This is about the grammar gender in Greek. This is one of the hardest parts of the Greek language, and basically, I could explain this in 10 seconds. You have to learn the gender with every new word you learn, every new noun you learn. You basically have to learn its gender. However, there is a bit more to be said about this. On the one hand, explain some common misunderstandings about how the gender works, but also I have to give a few tips that might help to understand better the gender of words in Greek. So basically, what I will do now is say again what I just said. The gender in Greek is arbitrary, and that means there is no general rule that will save you time and allow you to skip memorizing with every new word the gender. Now, sometimes people think either that, or rather don't think, but expect that the gender of the Greek word would coincide with the gender of a word in their language, if they come from a language like Russian or Polish or German, languages that have genders. So this is not the case, okay? So a word might be perfectly well be um, feminine in Russian and neuter in Greek, or neuter in Russian and masculine in Greek. Now, a more nuanced approach, but similarly erroneous approach to this would be somebody who thinks, and I had students make this point, but look, the French word la nuit, the Italian word la notte, the Spanish word la noche are all feminine, missing the point that this is not something about the meaning of the word night or something profound about the word night. It's just that all these words come from Latin, and since the Latin word nox was feminine, they remained Latin in these languages as well. So, yeah, the only case in which you can rely on another language to find the gender of a word is if the two languages are belong to the same family, like Romance languages. But when you come from a Romance language to Greek, it won't work. Now let's move to the second point. Now, if we're talking about animate objects like people and animals, then things are much easier. The general idea is that if something is male, let's say a man, or a cat also, or gatos, it would be masculine. If it's female in nature, in reality, like η γάτα, η γυναίκα, η κοπέλα, then it would be feminine in grammar. And the less obvious point that sometimes is missed is that for young, either people or animals, we very often use the neuter. And we might also use it for cuteness. Like we can say to κοριτσάκι, talking about to a 30, 40-year-old woman, because we want to, to show affection or be cute with her, so tell her that she's cute, something like that. Now, when it comes to tips about finding the gender of a word, well, my first tip would be, especially if you have a written text where you can spend time looking at the text rather than listening to people, my first tip would be look at the article. The article usually helps you more than the ending. But even then, you usually have to combine information from the article and the ending to find the gender. An example of this would be this here. If you have this word here, tamia, and this word here, γυναίκα, just by looking at them, there is no way to know the gender. Now, if I throw in that, ton and t, now I can easily say, okay, with this article, it can only be masculine. With this article, it can only be feminine. And now I want to turn to point 4, which is the best words in Greek when it comes to the gender. These words that end in ma. Unlike the word here, like we said, this word, just by looking at it, there is no way to know if it's masculine or feminine. It ends with a. It could be masculine word, it could be feminine. It could even be neuter plural. Same here. Just by looking at the word, there's no way to know. Here, just by looking at the word, because it ends with ma, I can say, yeah, it's neuter. The words that end with ma, το πέραμα, το πέρασμα, το διάβασμα, το κοίταγμα, το άλλαγμα, το σύνταγμα are neuter. And this ma exists everywhere. It could be hidden, like here I give you a plural, τα προβλήματα. But again, this ending, mata, is always neuter. And that's it. I hope that was helpful.